Well, falling prices, things getting cheaper, it sounds great, doesn't it? But negative inflation, or deflation as it's known, can quickly become dangerous. So let's listen to what the governor actually had to say.
Today's inflation report headlines are relatively straightforward. Inflation is at its lowest level since the introduction of inflation targeting 2 decades ago. It will likely fall further, potentially turn negative in the spring, and be close to zero for the remainder of the year.
So what does that all actually mean? Well, inflation is obviously the rate at which the price of the goods and services we use the most are rising. It's measured by the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI. So deflation occurs when prices are actually falling. That's to say, inflation is below zero. We're not quite there yet. Inflation has been at an all-time low of 0.5% since December last year. So prices are still rising, but only just, and at a slower rate than the Bank of England's target, which is all the way up there at 2%. The bank expects inflation to tip into negative territory over the spring and then be flat. So, prices around about flat until the autumn. Mark Carney says this current period is good news for the economy, but why? Well, the rate of inflation is being pulled down by various factors, including lower oil, food and energy prices. Now, these are all things we need to spend money on. We all need to travel around, feed our families and heat our homes. So that means our money goes further. That's considered good deflation, or to use a phrase coined by Oxford Economics, joyflation. Sounds great, but there are some dangers as well. If prices fall on non-essential goods so that consumers postpone their spending, thinking they'll actually get even cheaper, you can get a deflationary spiral. That could lead to the economy stalling. So the bank has to devise some contingency plans in case it has to kickstart the economy. It has 2 options here. One is lowering interest rates even further, making it cheaper to borrow, encouraging us to spend and invest. However, rates, of course, already at that low of 0.5%, so there isn't much wiggle room there. The other option is to expand the bank's quantitative easing programme, effectively pumping more money into the economy. Today, the governor suggested both options could still be deployed.